You might find it interesting, entertaining to watch a thunderstorm from a distance. But have you ever been doing that and then there's a bolt of lightning that strikes really close by? And it's that huge sound, like a cannon going off, and it's so frightening. But when John turns toward this powerful voice, it strikes him with that kind of fear. What he sees terrifies him more than any lightning strike. And he describes it here, Revelation 1, 12 through 17. He says, "Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me, and on turning I saw 7 golden lampstands, and in the midst of the lampstands one like a son of man, clothed with a long robe and with a golden sash around his chest. The hairs of his head were white like white wool, like snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire. His feet were like burnished bronze refined in a furnace, and his voice was like the roar of many waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp 2-edged sword, and his face was like the sun shining in full strength." And John says, "When I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead." There's one word that's used there 7 times in those verses. Did you pick up which one it was? It's the word "like." In other words, he's having a hard time putting into words what he's seeing. It's so intense. Light is just pouring out of this mighty being. It's white, fire, like glowing metal, like midday sun. It's like lightning that doesn't stop. And the best John can do is really to say that the one in his vision is like a son of man, which is an interesting choice of words. It's the same phrase that the prophet Daniel used 600 years earlier. Daniel 7:13 says, "I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man. And he came to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him." I mean, both Daniel and John, they're just trying to describe what they're seeing in this vision, and he appears to be human. Daniel goes on to say that dominion and a kingdom are given to him. And so, of course, when Jesus begins his ministry, he uses the same phrase, the same title, Son of Man, as a way to refer to himself. As I mentioned a moment ago, his clothing here in the vision is similar to what a high priest would wear in the Old Testament. And so when you combine that with the lampstands, it suggests to us that what John sees here is similar to the inside of the temple. The New Testament letter to the Hebrews actually says that the earthly temple or tabernacle was designed to represent the reality in heaven, the presence of God there. And so it's as if the barrier between heaven and earth is opened here to allow John to see the glorified Jesus. Now, this isn't the first time that he had seen the glory of Christ. The Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke all talk about an occasion that we call the Transfiguration, when the true glory of Jesus was revealed to Peter, James, and John. And so John responds here in Revelation the same way that he did on that occasion, right? Falling down in fear. He knew Jesus well, but the glory and power of his divine nature is intimidating. So it just raises that question for us. Do we fear the Lord? Now, we'll see in a moment that Jesus responds to John's fear with encouragement. He tells him not to be afraid. But this underlying sense of reverence and awe for the greatness of God is foundational for us. Over in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 9, verse 10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight." If you want to approach life with wisdom, it all starts with this reverence for God. So if we truly understand anything at all about the nature and power of the triune God, then we'll respond with reverential